Welcome to Snapply, where history comes alive in simple stories. Today, we are going to travel back in time to explore one of the most incredible empires the world has ever seen, the Mongol Empire. We will learn about the brilliant military, strategies, the inspiring methods of empire building, and the legendary conquests led by Genghis Khan. Sit back, relax, and get ready for an adventure into the heart of history. Our story begins in the harsh lands of the Mongolian steppe, where a young boy named Temujin was born. Before he was known as Genghis Khan, he was a child who faced many challenges. Life was hard on the vast, open plains where the weather was cold and food was often scarce. Yet, even as a child, Temujin showed signs of great determination, strength, and leadership. Temujin's early life was marked by struggle. When his father, a tribal chief, was killed, Temujin and his family had to fight for survival. Even at a young age, he learned the art of survival and the importance of loyalty among his family and friends. These early experiences shaped him into a fierce warrior and a brilliant leader. As Temujin grew older, he began to see that the individual tribes could become much stronger if they worked together. He believed that by uniting the scattered clans, they could form a powerful force. His vision was not just about survival, it was about creating a strong and united people. Through both diplomacy and battle, Temujin succeeded in uniting the tribes. In 1206, the leaders of all the Mongol tribes gathered, and Temujin was given the title Genghis Khan, which means universal ruler. This moment marked the birth of the Mongol nation and the beginning of an extraordinary journey. One of the secrets behind the success of Genghis Khan was the organization of his army. The Mongol army was unlike any other in the world at that time. It was organized, mobile, and flexible. Here are a few key points about how the Mongol army was structured. The Mongol army was divided into small units called tumans and arbuns. This allowed them to operate independently in battles, yet they could also work together as a large force. Each unit was led by a trusted commander, ensuring discipline and coordination. The Mongols were expert horsemen. They could travel long distances quickly, and their horses were strong and fast. This made it easy for them to move rapidly across the land, surprising their enemies who were not prepared for such speed. The Mongols developed a system of communication that helped them relay messages across great distances. They used a network of riders who carried messages from one camp to another. This network, called the yam system, allowed for quick coordination, even over vast territories. Genghis Khan was not only a great leader, but also a brilliant military strategist. His strategies were innovative and have been studied by historians and military experts for centuries. Let's look at some of the key tactics used by the Mongol army in battle. The Mongols relied heavily on their mobility. Their armies could move fast and strike without warning. This meant that they could attack when and where their enemies were most vulnerable. The speed of the Mongol cavalry allowed them to launch surprise attacks. They could circle around enemy forces and hit them from unexpected directions. This tactic often caused confusion and panic among their foes. Another key element was the use of horse archery. Mongol warriors were trained from childhood to ride and shoot arrows accurately, even while moving at full speed. This skill made them extremely dangerous in battle. They would use their bows to weaken enemy lines before closing in for a final attack. The ability to shoot accurately while riding allowed them to attack and retreat quickly, always staying one step ahead of the enemy. One of the most clever tactics was the feigned retreat. This strategy involved pretending to run away from the enemy. When the enemy thought they had won, they would pursue the retreating Mongols. At that moment, the Mongol warriors would suddenly turn and attack, catching the enemy off guard. This tactic relied on the element of surprise. It forced the enemy to break their formation and become disorganized, making them much easier to defeat. Genghis Khan also understood the power of fear. The Mongols used psychological warfare to weaken their enemies before even engaging in battle. They spread rumors of their ruthless methods, and many cities surrendered without a fight just to avoid the Mongol wrath. By creating an aura of terror, Genghis Khan ensured that many enemies were intimidated and unprepared for the battle to come. The Mongol Empire grew very quickly. Under Genghis Khan and his successors, the Mongols conquered vast lands. Let's explore some of the most important conquests that defined their empire. One of the first great campaigns was against the Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia. The Khwarezmian Empire was powerful, but when the Mongols attacked, their superior tactics proved too much to handle. The campaign was long and brutal. Genghis Khan showed no mercy to those who had wronged him, and the defeat of the Khwarezmian Empire marked the beginning of a new era in warfare. Next, the Mongols turned their eyes to China. The Chinese lands were vast and full of history, and they had many strong armies. Yet, the Mongols used their speed and surprise to defeat these armies time and again. The conquest of northern China was a long process that required many battles. Genghis Khan and his successors adapted their tactics to overcome different enemies, and eventually the Mongols controlled vast parts of China. The reach of the Mongol conquests extended even into Eastern Europe. In the 13th century, Mongol forces invaded parts of modern-day Russia, Poland, and Hungary. Their quick strikes and mobile tactics made them a formidable enemy, and many European armies were unprepared for the Mongol way of warfare. Though not all campaigns ended in lasting control, the Mongol invasions had a long-term impact on the European way of war and on the political landscape of the region. There were many other battles and campaigns that showcased the Mongol genius in warfare. From battles against fortified cities to clashes with large armies, the Mongols proved again and again that speed, strategy, and surprise could win the day. These battles not only changed the map of Asia and Europe, but also left a lasting legacy in military strategy that is still studied today. Even though the Mongol Empire eventually broke apart, its impact is still felt today. Let's explore how the conquests and governance of Genghis Khan have shaped the modern world. The military tactics of the Mongols changed the way wars were fought forever. Their strategies of speed, flexibility, and psychological warfare are studied in military academies around the world. Modern armies still learn lessons from the Mongol way of fighting. The Mongol Empire helped spread ideas, technologies, and even diseases across continents. The opening of the Silk Road allowed for the exchange of knowledge from the East to the West. This exchange contributed to developments in science, medicine, and even art. The legacy of the Mongol Empire can also be seen in the way cultures have blended over the centuries. The policies of tolerance and integration helped mix traditions and customs from different parts of the world. Today, we see influences of Mongol rule in language, art, and even in the way we think about leadership and strategy. Historians and scholars continue to study the Mongol Empire to understand not only how it rose to power, but also how it connected the world, in ways that still influence us today. If you love history and want to experience it firsthand, here are some ideas for reenactments and historical site visits related to the Mongols and Genghis Khan. Imagine a scene where actors, dressed in simple period costumes, recreate the fast, coordinated movements of Mongol cavalry. They could show the use of horse archery, feigned retreats, and quick maneuvers on an open field. This would give viewers a real feel for how battles were fought. Another great idea is to set up a reenactment of daily life in a Mongol camp. show how warriors lived, trained, and maintained their equipment. You could include scenes of setting up tents, preparing food, and even storytelling around a campfire under a starry sky. Recreate the moment when tribal leaders came together to form an alliance. This reenactment could be a dramatic scene set in a simple, authentic location, using props like ancient scrolls and traditional clothing to highlight the unity that made the Mongol Empire possible. A visit to the vast, open landscapes of Mongolia can be breathtaking. Tourists can explore the same lands where Genghis Khan and his warriors once roamed. Many tour operators offer guided trips that explain the historical significance of the area, including visits to ancient burial sites and monuments. The ancient capital of the Mongol Empire, Karakorum, is another must-visit site. Although now in ruins, this historic city was once the heart of the empire. Walking through the remains of Karakorum, you can almost hear the echoes of the past. Museums in Mongolia, China, and even parts of Eastern Europe host exhibitions on the Mongol era. These museums often display artifacts, weapons, and manuscripts from the time of Genghis Khan. They provide a deeper understanding of the culture, art, and military technology that helped shape the empire. To bring even more depth to our story, many experts have studied the Mongol Empire and its impact on the world. Here are some insights you might include in your video. Experts explain that the Mongol strategies were not just about brute force. They were about speed, flexibility, and understanding the enemy. Historians often compare these tactics to modern military strategies, showing that even today, the lessons of Genghis Khan are still valuable. Academics emphasize the importance of the Mongol policies of tolerance and cultural integration. These policies not only helped to maintain peace during the empire's peak, but also allowed for an exchange of ideas and technologies that shaped the future of many nations. Field experts reveal that many of the sites associated with the Mongol Empire still hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. Ongoing excavations and research continue to reveal new insights about the daily lives of people during that time. The story of the Mongols and Genghis Khan does not end with battles and conquests. Their legacy continues to influence the world in many ways. Even today, we see the impact of their ideas in modern military strategy, international trade, and cultural exchange. Modern armies study the tactics of the Mongols. The idea of mobility, rapid communication, and flexible strategies can be seen in the training of soldiers around the world. The Mongol approach teaches us that sometimes being fast and unpredictable can be more powerful than sheer numbers. The reopening of the Silk Road under the Mongols was one of the greatest boosts to global trade. By ensuring safe passage for merchants and travelers, the Mongols helped to create a network that spread goods, ideas, and culture across continents. This network paved the way for the globalized world we live in today. Genghis Khan's leadership is often studied as a case of how determination, innovation, and unity can overcome great odds. His ability to unite a scattered people and forge an empire is a lesson in how strong leadership can bring about significant change. His methods of integrating different cultures and creating an efficient system of governance continue to inspire leaders around the world. As we have seen today, the story of the Mongols and Genghis Khan is one of extraordinary courage, brilliant strategy, and lasting impact. From the rugged steppe where a young boy once dreamed of uniting his people, to the vast empire that changed the course of history, the Mongol legacy is one that continues to teach us about resilience, innovation, and unity. We hope this journey into the past has sparked your interest in the incredible world of the Mongols. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Snaply for more simple, engaging tales from history. And if you ever have a chance, why not visit one of the historical sites we talked about? Feel the history under your feet and see for yourself the wonders of our past. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. Remember, history is not just about the past. It is a story that lives on in every part of our world, today. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.